So, friends, welcome to India. Not know we have a lot of surprises on the road, right from animals to humans to everything else. Most of us in India drive to the left, but not all. So you have to be careful, especially when we cross road. Maybe in Manibhavan, where Bapu, as we know Mahatma Gandhi, he lived and he used that place. Especially it was his place in Mumbai between 1917 and 1934, and many movements were launched from here. We
As Gandhi's house, but it was a house that he used in transit. It was his friend's house, home, and Bapu used it in transit whenever he passed through Mumbai. Its historical importance is because the last fight for freedom was launched while he was staying there. And that is where he was arrested and taken into custody before he could make that public announcement, and that's what has catapulted it into an historical icon. Now it is a museum that is run by a private trust, and it's a part of the heritage sites on Bapu. For Americans, the interesting association with Mani Bhavan is that it also has an association with Dr. King. In 59 or 60, when Dr. King visited India,
it was very powerful to see where Gandhi stayed. It was also very powerful to hear about how Martin Luther King was inspired and stayed there too, and slept where Gandhi slept.
And the government of India, he was the guest of the government of India. He was being taken around the country as a privileged guest. And when they came to Mumbai from the airport, he said, I want to first go to Gandhi's house before I do anything else. So he was driven straight away to Mani Bhavan. King requested the director of the museum to open that door and let him go and sit next to the seat where Bapu used to sit and work. And when that was done, he requested to be left alone because he wanted to meditate over there. And so everybody left him over there and they went, and then the hours just went by and Dr. King wasn't moving out. And soon it was time to close the museum. And so there was a bit of a panic, and finally the director went up to Dr. King and said, Dr. King, you have to leave now because we have to close down. And he said, I want to stay here. I want to live in Gandhi's house. The time that I'm going to stay in Mumbai, I want to stay in Gandhi's house. And Dr. King said that I don't mind, just give me a sheet, I'll spread it on the ground in Gandhi's room and sleep over there. I just want to be here, I don't want to go anywhere. The fact was that being the state guest, his staying arrangements were made in one of the most luxurious hotels in Bombay. Finally, when they saw that Dr. King wasn't going to budge, they made arrangements in a room. The 3 days that Dr. King stayed in Mumbai, he would go out during the day and do all his official engagements and things. And in the evening, he would come back to Mani Bhavan and spend an hour or two sitting in Bapu's room, and then he stayed in Mani Bhavan. And when he left, he wrote in the guest book, he said, I have been living in Gandhi's house and I've felt his presence all around me. And I've been in communion with him. And my resolve to fight for the rights of my people has been recharged. And I am now committed to go back and fight for equal rights for my people in my country.
As a black woman, I was really inspired by the preachings of Gandhi and also Martin Luther King, and also to hear about how people in India also were judged based on the color of their skin. It's interesting. We just left the museum, in which showed the house that Gandhi stayed in Mumbai. It was very powerful to see where Gandhi stayed. It was also very powerful to hear about how Martin Luther King was inspired and stayed there too, and slept where Gandhi slept.